anywhere in England, Canada's paratroops demonstrate how well they've mastered their difficult job and express their determination to put victory first.
Well, boys, the company commander just come in this morning was telling me there's another victory room back home. This time we got it back at 100%. You know the one we had back in Shiloh? Well, that really went over the top. This time, this one's really going to be better. What did you do last time, Bish? What did you buy in bonds?
150.
What are you going to get this time?
The same, if not more.
That's the old fight. How about you, Dakin? What did you buy last time?
I bought $50 last time. I'm going to double it this time.
Well, don't forget, fellas, we got to buy all the bonds we can. Save all your shillings and 2-shilling pieces. You can always wire home and get the money back some other time. You know, all these chutes, planes, and everything that we're using every day, well, that takes a lot of money. And the people back home are behind us, and we got to show them here how we're behind them. We need all the money we can. We got to do the job 2 ways, drop them from the air and back it up 100%. Don't forget, this time it's a case of put victory first.
At a British airport arrives the new commander of the 1st Canadian Army, Lieutenant General Crerar. General Crerar has the highest praise for the fighting skill of the soldiers throughout the Canadian Corps of the 8th Army and great expectations for the troops under his command in the Allied Western Campaign. One of the problems for the boys in the front line in Italy is keeping clean. A well-camouflaged mobile laundry unit operates just a few miles behind the line. Anywhere there's a handy pool of water. Blankets at the rate of 8,000 a day are thoroughly washed and dried. In addition to blankets, the laundry handles all the issue clothing of the troops. Compactly carried on Army transports, the washing and drying equipment of the very latest design can handle the washing of one entire division. It takes just 3 hours to set it up ready for work. The biggest part of this job is camouflaging the entire plant from prying enemy eyes. When 2 outposts of a British recce unit got snowbound in a rugged mountain position on the Adriatic front, British Corps headquarters sent out an urgent call for a ski party to carry food and medical supplies to the stranded men. A Canadian armored unit volunteered to leave their tanks and take the skis. The first lap of the rescue is made in trucks and jeeps to a town in the foothills. Rear base is reached in the afternoon, and the men are completely outfitted with ski equipment. Yes, they still have ski toggery in Italian shops. The men hardly have time to fit and wax their skis before they're off again. In the Apennine Mountains isn't much like the Laurentians or the Canadian Rockies, but the tankmen enjoy finding their ski legs again. The rescue parties are warmly received by the men of the recce unit, and things aren't as grim as first believed. Canadians relieve a 75% food shortage and get in a lot of skiing on the side. London opens its drive to raise £165 million, her share in the Salute the Soldier Week, with a huge display of arms and equipment in historic Trafalgar Square. Beneath the towering column of Britain's great naval commander, London pays tribute to the branch of the service which will bear the brunt of the Second Front. Canadians take part in the many parades, and crack Canadian units, which have been training in England the last 4 years, march proudly beside their British buddies. The skirl of Canadian Scottish bagpipes is heard en route in the mammoth parade, which includes all branches of the services. As the parade passes Buckingham Palace, the King takes the salute. Ahead lies the second front with its inevitable sacrifice of life and equipment. Behind lie the years of preparation, which have made our Allied armies the greatest fighting machine in the world. But this training of men and building of equipment takes money, and that is why London asks for and gets more than 165 billion pounds. It's a lot of money, but a lot of grateful people are anxious to play their part and salute the soldier. Once again, massed fight bands of the Canadian Highland Regiments herald a rugby match between crack Canadian and American gridiron teams. White City Stadium in London is jammed with more than 60,000 enthusiastic fans, and the Canadians hope to repeat their 16-6 win in the first game. But all we have is the hope. The first half of the game is under Canadian rules, and the Americans throw in their heaviest shock troops. The Canadians soon begin to realize they are in a real gridiron battle. One of the features of the tussle is a 75mm howitzer which booms out each Yankee touchdown. There goes the touchdown, and there goes the gun, and the Canadians are down 5-0 in their half of the game. At halftime, beside the band display, the doughboys put on a demonstration in mass formation marching, while the Canadians lick their wounds and prepare for the second half, which will be played under American rules. As the last half gets underway, the Yanks really set to work to give the Canucks a lesson or two in rugby. Here's a Canadian kick. Watch the beautiful blocking. Under American rules, quite unfamiliar to the Canadians, the Yanks run each kick ball back about 20 yards. These Canadian players on the bench here look a little worried, but the game isn't over yet, or is it? Yes, we know. Another American touchdown. You don't have to rub it in. There's just no stopping these Americans. It's their day, and they're out to avenge their defeat in the first game. The game ends 18-0 for the Yanks. 3 touchdowns to nothing. If these two great teams meet again to play off the now even series, we can be assured of some championship football, no matter what the outcome.